It's it's not the kind of game I'm used to playing. There's a lot more emphasis on the story, and somewhat less on the puzzle.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very easy to call it an interactive movie.
Mm-hmm. The graphics are wonderful. I've never seen better in my life.
It's a delight. I got a review copy a few days ago.
Yeah, and the story.
I'm amazed. I haven't got a review copy, and I got a bigger audience than you do.
Why? What can I say?
And the story's nice. I've liked that. I've liked the story from the beginning. When I realized they were involving a Tnuktapun ship in stasis.
Who came up with the story? Did they do that all?
Not me.
Okay, that's. Did
I've
you have
been
any
watching it evolve. Yes, I went to several conferences. When they got to talking about the city, the local city, and our hero, our Xin hero, fighting them, I was the one who suggested they put it on the map of Earth. Map of Earth, human slaves.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped out of that fairly soon, though, because they were into technical stuff that I couldn't follow. I don't know how to create a game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to program a computer.
But you worked with them in getting the art right, the graphics.
Yeah.
It is a delight. I mean, I sit there playing the game over the last few days, and I just every once in a while you'll see something and you just gasp.
It's rotten swine.
Just wonderful
It is
graphics.
so wonderful. I mean, it's like watching a Larry Niven book. It's
what
great.
a particularly stupid
I've got more
company.
than
They have
one-
not sent me a copy.
I've got
though.
more than one stack of discs, Jerry. I can offer you one.
And
I
can-
must get every
and I-
computer
and-
game ever written,
Except this
including
one.
some exceedingly boring games.
It's true. I'll make a phone call. Tsunami should have sent you a ring world.
Incredible.
No,
If they
question
ha-
about it.
It is said that I can sell 12,000 copies of a game simply by calling it the game of the month, and I never got a copy of this thing. I don't understand this.
They
What-
were expecting me to make that kind of suggestion, I guess.
I guessed. I saw one comment
Well,
about it.
Larry, you know a good computer game reviewer. I don't review games, but I do a game of the month.
Yeah. No, it's.
And I
It's
only
a
have a
delight.
million circulation every month with it, you know. So.
Well, let's see. Larry's got extra discs, and I can Xerox the manual for you. You're covered.
No sweat.
You're covered. But it's just so wonderful. It's like sitting there, and when you see something and you recognize it, the lander, when the humans are on Ringworld and they land, they have their lander, and when you recognize that it's a General Products Hall.
Yeah.
And it's just so neat to see that they got all the details right.
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
Me too.
And it's a fun story to follow. I don't think hardcore gamers are going to like it a lot though, because it's very much an interactive movie where the game very carefully nudges you along, and it knows what it wants to have happen.
That
Well,
is
it
true.
sounds like The Secret of Monkey Island.
If you make a mistake, you go nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, it
Uh,
sounds a
until
lot
you
like
go
The
back and
Secret
get it
of
right.
Well, remember The Secret of Monkey Island? It's much that way.
Yeah.
Nothing terrible happens to you if you make a mistake. You just don't go anywhere. So
Yeah. And
But remember the sequel, Monkey Island 2. You can go to any of 3 islands and travel
yeah.
back and forth among them at will, solving various puzzles in whatever order you like.
Mm-hmm.
and this one, you have to do it in a specific order.
Yeah.
But so was Monkey Island, the original one.
Mhm.
You had to do everything exactly right. You would never get anywhere. Lucas games tend to be that way. Almost all of the Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones games tend to be that way. You have to follow the script whether you like it or not.
Yeah. The hint book that's available also is really nice. What I liked about the hint book was that they have the hints in various levels of detail, and it starts out with think about what this character said and goes all the way up to go to shelf 7, deck 3. You know, it's very.
That's the way it
very-
should be. That's the way the Infocom.
That was the old
books
Infocom.
were.
That was the Infocom. did.
You know, it was
Infocom trained everybody.
Yeah, it's that way you can if you're stuck, it gives you a little bit of a help to get out of the log jam, but it doesn't spoil the all the surprise for you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We should have brought a computer and brought the game, and then you could have
I suppose, and then all of your vast audience out there could imagine us playing.
imagine us playing it.
You
Yes.
can hold the microphone up to the screen. And
Well, because then that way Jerry wouldn't complain about not getting to see the graphics. But it's a fun game. It really worked as a sequel, not just as an adaptation.
Yeah.
But as a real
It's
sequel.
work 3 of the Ringworld series but it wasn't written by Niven, and it isn't a book.
But that's okay. It's still a sequel.
Sure.
How did you guys decide to start collaborating? How did that happen?
Go ahead, Jerry.
I needed an instant reputation, so I looked around for some people who were writing stuff that I could improve.
He would have gone to Poole Anderson, I'm dead certain, if Poole had lived close enough.
Yeah.
Mm.
Can you imagine that on a panel? They're both a little bit deaf.
God. That is an interesting combination. I hadn't thought of you and Poole Anderson.
Now, I could improve Paul's work. Well, Paul isn't rich from his writing.
Yeah.
I am.
Hmm.
I told Niven, stick with me and I'll make you rich and famous. And he said, I'm already rich. And I said, fine, I'll get rich, you get famous. It's worked, hasn't it?
It works fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jerry, you wanted to find somebody who was well known that you could improve.
Basically, somebody would, well, I say that glibly, somebody whose work I sufficiently respected that I wouldn't mind him improving mine, too.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if you want. I mean, on a collaboration, each of us does 90% of the work.
Hmm.
And
Also, you're looking for somebody whose flaws match your
Yeah,
expertise.
exactly.
So you can teach
Yeah.
each other.
I know how to
You
do
guys-
crowd scenes. I know how to do boardroom politics. I know how to do Navy and that sort of thing.
You
None
guys-
of which he did. It was clear from his writings he didn't know.
You guys really do complement each other nicely.
He writes better than I do. I tell damn good stories. So between us, it works out pretty damn good.
Yeah, because as I say, I mean, individually, both of you guys write really good stories.
Mm-hmm.
But together, you are dynamite. Because I think the way you interact.
Yeah, I think it's true. I mean, together we are not quite the most successful collaboration in literature. Nordhoff and Hall outsold us with Mutiny on the Bounty and some of those. But we're up there. I mean, and I don't mean just science fiction. I mean, we are up there in terms of total sales in collaborative works.
We like to impress
group.
each other.
Yeah.
That's part of the secret.
Yeah.
Of the various books you've collaborated on, which one was most satisfying?
All of them.
All of them. Yeah. The next one.
The next one. What are your plans for future collaborative books?
Okay, we just spent a week in San Diego at a condominium that Jerry owns 1/4 of. That Jerry and his wife own 1/4 of.
Mhm.
Jerry and his wife and Stephen Barnes and I working on a sequel to A Legacy of Hewlett.
Okay.
We've got a fair distance toward that.
Now, in Legacy, you had some really interesting biology. Does the
Mhm.
sequel have
Boy, does
More.
more?
More.
Yeah.
Much more.
This time we involved Jack Cohen from England.
Yeah. Last
Ooh.
time, the Legacy was written as a result of an offhand remark made by Cohen about a frog with nasty habits. And essentially, I was going to write that as a Hugo-winning short story. And it was too damn good to be a short story. And it was going to be a novelette. And it was too damn good to be a novelette. And at that point, I was going to get big. I got Niven in it. And then we didn't have any time, so we brought in Barnes. We'd been kind of a protege anyway. And it went on from there.
The more we talked, the bigger it got.
Yeah, it got to be a bigger and bigger book. And that one worked. And then we brought Jack Cohen in to help us with the whole biology of the next one.
Yeah.
What eats Grindles?
Yeah.
Well, you'll find out.
We'll find out.
You'll
It's
find
on the
out.
mainland.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
on the mainland.
biology is enormously more complex
Yeah.
on the mainland.
And nastier?
Yo, yeah.
Yes, in
Yes.
spots. We've got a
Yes.
nice locked room mystery that
Yeah.
Ooh.
will bother you, I think.
Yes.
If
Very
you start-
good.
If you hit the climax at midnight and keep
Going. Yeah, I got to figure out a way to
We'll
time
ruin
it so
your
I don't.
sleep for
So I
sure.
don't. You got to label. The action points, so that if you have to work, you can make sure you pace yourself so you don't hit them at midnight.
Mhm.
It's called
Steve is the
Chesterfield.
one of the three of us who can do horror fiction.
Yes.
We don't do horror fiction as well as Steve does. This one we're going to cost you some sleep.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Mhm.
that'll be going some. Want to go to the phones. Anyone who wants to call up and give us a call, talk to. It's really funny having done the joke about Jerry Niven and Larry Pournelle. It is now really hard not to do it by accident.
It always is. All of our friends have caught them their tongues tripping in that
Our
fashion.
editors. I mean,
Yes.
But so anyway, if you
Editors don't want to do that during a
Yes.
promotional dinner.
so if anyone wants to call up and talk to Larry and Jerry,
Mm-hmm. The
Then-
Larry and Jerry.
the Larry and
Act,
Jerry, give us a call 818-985-5735.
to quote some forgotten critic for the New York Times,
Yes.
the Larry and Jerry Act.
Hmm. Good evening. You're with us on Hour 25.
Yeah, hello. One of my questions was answered. I was wondering about a sequel to Legacy of Herat, and I'm very pleased to hear you're going to be doing that. I'll look forward to that most sincerely. Second question would be, when were you going to be making your appearance at Cal State Long Beach again?
I don't think I have such a plan.
I don't know. I think I may well have, but I do not have that schedule with me. My wife is the keeper of the gelded schedule, and we don't know.
Well, then I'll just have to keep my eyes open.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I mean, it's silly to come on the air and then not be able to publicize appearances. But the
Yes.
truth is, I did not bring the schedule with me.
Didn't bring his
Well,
wife.
that's-
Serves him right.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
Finally, then,
I plead stupidity.
yes, I was wondering if you've pondered possibly the idea of working with Tom Clancy at all on anything. Since you gentlemen seem to have
I think I'd rather just.
admiration of each other's work.
I'd love to talk. I love talking to Tom Clancy. He's fascinating. Working, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where his strengths match my weaknesses.
Yeah, who
or
would
vice
do
versa.
what? Who would do what? That was like the time when Larry was going to try to work with Buzz Aldrin on a book. It doesn't work, and same with me. It's just the things we know how to do are the things we know how to do, and they don't match things that he doesn't know how to do.
I see, yes. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I'll let someone else ask a question. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Besides, Tom lives in Maryland and hates to fly.
Good evening. You're on Hour 25.
Yeah, Warren, I had a question for you, actually. You talked about a novel concerning the nanotech machines on the lunar surface,
Yes.
but you never said the name of it after the beginning, and I missed
Sorry about that. The book is called Assemblers of Infinity. Kevin Anderson and Doug Beeson.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't repeat the name after I gave it at the opening.
Doug Beeson is Lieutenant Colonel Doug Beeson, who is on the White House advisory staff, and
Yeah.
an old friend of ours. He actually had my book, The Strategy of Technology, as his textbook when he was at the Air Academy, and then later when he was a professor at the Academy, he used it as a textbook. So.
Good question.
Yeah.
Who knows when Babylon 5 is supposed to actually air? I originally heard February 5th, and then apparently it's been changed.
February something late in the month, but who knows when.
Maybe somebody in the group mind knows.
Perhaps, or it might also be getting rescheduled. But if anybody knows for a fact when it's going to be on, I seem to think the 22nd or 23rd sticks in my mind as a date I've heard.
Yeah,
But
yeah, well,
who knows?
That's nothing certain yet.
Okay, thanks for calling. And you can call us at 818-985-5735. Talk to Larry Niven and Jerry Pournelle. Good evening. You're on Hour 25.
Yes, hello. I had a question. I remember Larry and Jerry talking about an arcology book way long ago, and I can't remember if you have since written that or if it's something that's...
Yeah, that book is Oath of Fealty, and it's many years old now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was remembering the name of the city. I think it was Todos Santos. And
That's right.
That's it.
Oath of Fealty has been out for some time. I have a whole stack of remainders.
And it is also just been reissued with a new cover because of as part of the
Promotion.
celebration and promotion of the Gripping Hand. Simon & Schuster has brought out all our other books, and that's one of them.
Yeah, it sounds good. I've been waiting for the follow-up to Mote in God's Eye, too, because I read that years ago and loved it and was wondering what was going to happen next, so I'm glad that's coming out.
Goody.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
At least you know we weren't hasty about it.
Right. Good evening. You're on Hour 25.
Unseemly
Hello?
haste with which we rushed
Hi.
into a sequel.
Hi. I'm calling about Lucifer's Hammer. I've enjoyed that many, many times. I read it over and over.
Goody.
And I was just wondering when we could see a little more about that sort of thing.
No,